Let's play a game. Your goal is to punch me in the face. My goal is to punch you in the face. Now, I go to punch you in the face, and you predicted I would do that. So you block, giving you an opening to punch me in the face. Next time, you predict I would block. So you grab me, and then punch me in the face. Now, if I had a teammate here, my ally could block your punch, grab you, punch me in the face, even. And your allies could do the same. That's the nature of a team game. And in a team game, whoever wins is determined by whoever works better with their teammtes. So how do we prevent...
You absolutely
You know, that. So what causes toxicity in a team-based game? To answer that, let's look at a game that doesn't have an opposing team. Deep Rock Galactic. It's you and 3 other dwarves versus the bugs, the caves, and the fall damage. No PvP, no scoreboard, no rival team to blame, just you, your teammates, and a whole lot of crap that needs to get done before the inevitable swarms of bugs either overwhelm you or make you run out of bullets. The need for cooperation is baked into literally every system. As you can see, laying a pipeline takes forever solo, but with just someone else helping, it flies. With an engineer trying to mine ore high up on a wall is stuck staring at it, but a scout just gets up there in seconds. And that's the double-edged sword of co-op. When it clicks, you're a well-oiled machine. The second that coordination slips, you're no longer a team, and it just starts feeling like there's 3 other dwarves in a cave also fighting bugs, having separate fights that occasionally just wander into each other by pure accident. And that's not a shared mission, that's a fragmented mission that will only end with the respawn screen. But when it does work, and everyone's working together, like in this clip, I'm being covered by my entire team, and we're all blasting this godforsaken core stone together, it clicks. It's so good. Every class in Deep Rock Galactic is built around the idea of covering everyone else's weaknesses. Scout can't handle swarms. Driller can. Driller can't deal with ranged enemies. Gunner can. Gunner takes forever to spin up or reload his big-ass guns. Engineer's turrets handle the stragglers. Engineer struggles with big health pools like bulk detonators and Praetorians. Scout weapons chunk right through them. It's a closed loop of strength covering weaknesses. But if one class drops the ball, the loop breaks. And if the loop breaks, the mission often goes with it, especially at the higher difficulties. Really high highs, but really low lows. DRG solves its toxicity problem, well, prevents it from happening in the first place, by making sure that every class can do a bit of what the other can do. Everyone has their own shitty little flares that they throw around to light up the cave, but scouts are far better, lighting up the whole cave with basically no effort required. Anyone can drill through a wall with enough effort, but the driller can drill through much cleaner with no effort. Again, the overlap here is fine for a co-op game, but you add another team, and you have to suddenly have a very fine-tuned balance, or else certain characters will dominate the whole thing and make it unfun for everyone. You kind of have to assign roles, or who does what. Yeah, it's time to talk about the trifecta. The trifecta causes so many issues in so many different games that, honestly, I could make an entire video talking about every single issue that trifecta causes and how it forces devs to make very poor decisions in balance and design. Relying on it is bad, but that's for another day. I'm just going to talk about how it actually causes a fair amount of toxicity. And to talk about that, I need to show you this match of Marvel Rivals. Now, nothing toxic happens. My teammates were great. Like, straight up, they were great. The problem is, I'm playing Mantis. I don't play support, ever. I'm just bad at it. I've tried, I've been forced too many a time, I am bad at it. So when I hit tab here and see that my 2 DPS are 3 and 5 and my tanks aren't doing much better, that's upsetting. And that's annoying. And that's times a million, ignited by a single spark in people with worse mental than me, causes toxicity. Because again, toxicity is caused not by people being, dickheads, although it is, but people that become toxic are usually triggered by something. And that something, a lot of times, is being forced to play a role they are bad at. Later on in this match, I swapped to my main man, Mr. Fantastic, and we just start walking all over them. Because for everything to function, everyone in the trifecta has to play perfectly. This Punisher, he's playing terribly. He's not playing with the team, so he gets marked immediately. This Benjamin, he's just running in and not working with his Hawkeye. So he gets forced out, and their healers are broken line of sight with them. So the healers get jumped, and now the Hawkeye's dead, and the Luna's running away, the Rocket dies in the background, the entire thing falls apart. Because that lone Punisher decided to go for something incredibly stupid, my team is able to just walk through them. No goddamn clue where the magic went, but hey, that's the nature of magic. And again, this game is lost entirely because they just don't work with each other. Speaking of teammates, I'm going to present you with a quick little quiz here. See, this is a screenshot from a game of League of Legends. I want you to identify the reason we are losing this match. 3, 2, 1. If you said Sion or Senna, you're wrong. If you said anyone, still wrong. Because the question was rigged from the start. There is no sole player that is responsible for us losing this match. Sure, in the moment, I was fully convinced Sion and Senna were playing with their monitors turned off. But looking back, like at this recording, I never pinged, I never typed, I didn't say a single word, I didn't tell them to play differently, I didn't tell them to stay under turret, I could have asked them to play differently just once, whole match flips. And if I'm honest, I played poorly as well. I could have played far better. Was I playing poorly? Not that poorly, but I could have been better. I did some terrible decisions. I went at the wrong times. I did something stupid. I could have played better. And that's the tricky thing about team games. When you're playing, you only see your own experience. You know exactly why you did what you did. Your teammates, they only see the outcome. Why did Senna help me kill Nasus? I don't know, maybe because she just got chunked to half HP and panicked. Maybe her ult was down. Maybe she thought you were going to back off. Maybe she was distracted by a cave lead. I don't know how that got in the script. Point is, everyone's having their own stupid little war in the background. Same match, same battlefield, different experiences. What looks like an obvious just go up and punch him in the face moment to you might have looked like a punch the other guy in the face moment to them, or just a don't get punched in the face moment. When all you see is the aftermath, it's just really, really easy to assume someone's stupid. And that misunderstanding, that slight disconnect between what you saw and what they were doing, that's where the tension starts to grow. It doesn't start with slurs or rage quitting, it starts with just a little bit of confusion. You thought they were trolling. They thought you were letting them die. No one says anything. You lose the next fight. Sometimes a simple question mark. Remember how I mentioned the spark? It's all it takes. Half the fights that happen in these team games, they don't start from malice. They come from mismatched expectations. No communication, and the game doing absolutely nothing to help you understand each other. To help you get back on track to working with each other to win the damned game. Always escalates the same damn way. Someone asks, why you went in 1v1 versus the Nasus. You tell them you thought they were going to help. They assume you are blaming them. Before you know it, nobody's playing to win. Everyone's playing to prove a point. Not to the other team, not about how they're the better players and they deserve to win this game, the enemy team doesn't, about how they're not the fault for you guys losing this game. Someone stops warding because why bother? You stop following up because they're not worth saving. They just keep running in and dying. Someone starts taking jungle camps just to annoy the jungler flaming them. Your AD carry stops typing in the middle of fights just to tell the support that they're useless. At this point, the enemy team isn't the threat anymore. It's you and your teammates. You've become the swarm, the bulk detonator, the cave leech. The worst part is, too, it feels justified. In everyone's heads, it's not them trolling, them giving up. It's punishing someone else for being worse, giving up because someone else gave up. You flame back because they started it. You're not the problem, you're the victim. And that is how toxicity survives. Not with some cartoon villain on a keyboard, not with some guy typing a million slurs out, but a slow, creeping little rot that spreads through the frustration, through the blame, through the silence. Often, not a single person started out wanting to be toxic. Everyone wanted to win, to play their hardest. But through these terrible communication systems that only seem to be used to hand out frustration, to hand out rage. Gas gets poured, single spark starts a flame war. So let's talk about that gas. Because for all the thousands of hours developers spend tweaking weapons, balancing characters, fixing exploits, polishing their graphics, somehow the most crucial system in these team-based games continues to end up as an afterthought. Communication. One thing that could have stopped all of this before it even became an issue. The one thing that could have turned "you suck" into "I need help." The one thing that could have let a teammate explain themselves before getting flamed and muted and blamed. And it's a mess. Because for the longest time, the prerogative was just ban the bad people. Don't get me wrong. There's 100% people that just log into these games to troll and be a jerk. But these people are a vast minority. No matter how often you think you run into them, even if 1 out of 10 people you encounter in every game is here exclusively to be a troll or to be a griefer, that's still a very, very big minority, especially when they get banned as fast as they do. But the view of just banned people fails to consider a lot of things. Like, voice and text chat moderation are obvious and simple solutions, but enforcing them effectively is impossible. I'm trying to tell my teammate that the barricade they built needs to be bigger. I misspeak or mistype that, and suddenly I've said a racial slur. Because the English language sucks. Now, another solution? Let the players moderate themselves. Someone's being a jerk, everyone vote and mute to ban them. I'll give you 2 guesses on how that ends when the trolls group up. So, how do we solve this? Is there a way to filter out the toxic chat while keeping the punch you right in the face moments in? Or are we doomed to either be too strict or too lenient? Well, there is one solution. Deep in a game that a lot of people have thought could be a proper solution, but no one was willing to try because it seemed too easy, too simple, too basic to be a solution for all this toxicity, and it couldn't help. It's too stupid. It's too simple. It's just not a solution that's feasible for these complicated, competitive games. And that solution is rock and stone. Yeah, that's right, babe. We've come full circle all the way back to Deep Rock Galactic. Because sometimes, in fact, all the time, the answer to fixing toxicity in team-based games isn't just better matchmaking or harsher punishments. Sometimes it's as simple as a rock and a stone. It sounds stupid, but think about what Rocket Stone actually does. It's a single button that you press that says to everyone else, I'm here with you. It's not about the noise. It's not about the action of Rocket Stone. It's what it means. It's a shared button that anyone can press, a chant that reminds everyone we're on the same side. I'll cover you, you'll cover me. And when you're deep underground, when you're diving the enemy dragon pit, when you're low on ammo, when the enemy Punisher is ulting, sometimes just hearing someone else scream, I'm with you, it's a lifeline. It's solidarity, not just coordination. It's the essence of humanity itself, even. Simply acknowledging that someone else is here with you and that you will do your damnedest to support them because they will support you. So what helps? Stop toxicity? The thing that doesn't come from keyboard warriors or cartoon villains, from a slow drift of this is your fault, from punching the other team to punching your team. The shift happens when people feel ignored, blamed, or just alone in the chaos of a multiplayer game. It's a simple acknowledgement of teamwork, of another. And, well, we could keep pushing for better systems, more buttons, more VO lines, more ways to say, I'm here with you and I'll support you. We don't have to wait. Because textured voice chat, well, they can be used to give everyone else the newest brand of toxicity and say 12 different racial slurs that that person has never heard before. We can also use it at the same time to tell someone, I'll help you out. That we can go back. That play you just made, it was bad. But you can make another. That no matter what, this game is still winnable, and we can still do it. So next time your Steam is struggling and you're 2 seconds away from typing in a rant, try something different. Try saying that you're going to try again. Try telling your teammates that you respect their attempt, that you think they can win. That together you can reverse this downward spiral of rage and hatred. Because maybe the best way to fight toxicity is to remind your teammates what they're actually here to fight. And remember, punch the other guy in the face. Hey, I'd like to thank my channel members for this video. This is definitely different from my usual content, but I hope you liked it. I'd like to thank User Faceless, Loltar, Flabbergaster, Some Kitty Cat, Northstar, Plastic Winter 3, Web Sorter, Filament Timo, and Robs and Stay Theater Lapid. You can support videos like this by subscribing and joining the channel and all that crap. Let me know if you want to watch more videos like this, because I'd love to do this more often. Bye now.